Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where we take a look at the past and see how things have changed over time. In the previous episode, we explored 10 everyday objects of the past that have vanished from our modern lives. These were the things that were once essential, common, or popular, but have now become obsolete, rare, or forgotten. But there are more mysterious disappearances to uncover. In this episode, we're going to dive deeper into the history of 10 more everyday essentials that have disappeared from our sight. These are the things that you may have used, seen, or heard of, but are now hard to find, replaced, or outdated. Are you ready to rewind with me? Let's go. 10. Floppy disks. Do you remember these small, square plastic disks that could store up to 1.44 MB of data? Floppy disks were the main form of data storage and transfer in the 1980s and 1990s. They were used to save documents, photos, music, games, and software. You could insert them into a floppy disk drive on your computer or a floppy disk reader on another device. They were also easy to carry around and share with others. However, floppy disks soon became obsolete as technology advanced and new forms of data storage emerged. CDs, DVDs, USB flash drives, external hard drives, and cloud storage offered more capacity, speed, reliability, and convenience. Floppy disks also had many drawbacks, such as being fragile, prone to corruption, and vulnerable to magnetic fields. Today, floppy disks are rarely used or seen, and most computers don't even have a floppy disk drive anymore. 9. Phone books. Before the internet and smartphones, how did you find the phone number of a person or a business? You probably used a phone book, also known as a telephone directory. A phone book was a printed book that listed the names, addresses, and phone numbers of people and businesses in a certain area. You could find phone books in public places such as libraries, hotels, and phone booths, or get them delivered to your home or office. Phone books were useful for finding and contacting people, especially in emergencies. They were also used for advertising, marketing, and research purposes. However, phone books became less relevant and more wasteful as online directories, search engines, and mobile apps became more popular and accessible. Phone books also had some disadvantages, such as being bulky, outdated, and invasive of privacy. Today, phone books are rarely printed or used, and many people opt out of receiving them or recycle them. 8. Cassette tapes. Do you remember these small rectangular plastic tapes that could record and play sound? Cassette tapes were the main form of audio media in the 1970s and 1980s. They were used to listen to music, podcasts, audiobooks, and radio shows. You could insert them into a cassette player, a boombox, a Walkman, or a car stereo. They were also easy to record, rewind, fast, forward, and swap with others. 7. Typewriters. Do you remember these mechanical or electronic machines that could type letters, numbers, and symbols on paper? Typewriters were the main form of document creation and printing in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. They were used to write letters, reports, books, and other texts. You could insert a sheet of paper into a typewriter and press the keys to type the characters. You could also use a ribbon, a carbon paper, or a correction fluid to change the color, or a correction fluid to change the color or erase the mistakes. E6. Viz tapes. Do you remember these large rectangular plastic tapes that could record and play video? Viz tapes were the main form of video media in the 1980s and 1990s. They were used to watch movies, TV shows, home videos, and other videos. You could insert them into a VCR, a camcorder, or a video player. They were also easy to record, rewind, fast, forward, and rent or buy from video stores. 5. Rotary phones. Do you remember these old-fashioned phones that had a circular dial with holes for each number? Rotary phones were the main form of telecommunication in the mid-20th century. They were used to make and receive phone calls. You could dial a number by rotating the dial to the corresponding hole and releasing it. You could also use a handset, a cord, and a ringer to talk and hear. 4. Polaroid cameras. Do you remember these instant cameras that could produce a photo within minutes? Polaroid cameras were the main form of photography in the late 20th century. They were used to take and print photos. You could point and shoot a Polaroid camera and wait for the photo to come out of the slot. You could also shake the photo to speed up the development process. 3. Encyclopedia Sets. Do you remember these large hardcover books that contained information on various topics? Encyclopedia sets were the main form of reference and education in the 20th century. They were used to learn and research about various subjects such as history, science, art, and culture. You could find encyclopedia sets in libraries, schools, and homes. You could also browse, read, and cite them. 2. Walkie Talkies. Do you remember these handheld two-way radios that could communicate over short distances? Walkie Talkies were the main form of wireless communication in the mid-20th century. They were used to talk and listen to others. You could press a button on a walkie-talkie and speak into the microphone. You could also release the button and hear the response from the speaker. 1. Vinyl records. Do you remember these round, flat plastic discs that could play music? Vinyl records were the main form of music media in the mid-20th century. They were used to listen to music. You could place a vinyl record on a turntable and use a needle to read the grooves on the surface. You could also use a speaker, an amplifier, and a toniome to amplify and control the sound. Hey, thanks for watching this video on the mysterious disappearance of Everyday Essentials 2.0. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos like this one.